Okay. There might be some noise from the neighbors. They got noisy neighbors, but just don't pay attention to that. But I want to address a um, live stream. Well, it was discussion with Dr. Danny Faulkner from, I believe it was Answers in Genesis UK or Europe or something, and he is a physicist, and he was addressing the timeline problem, and he mentioned several scenarios of what what could be the reason we can see light from stars. So what I want to do is just go ahead and review a little bit, because he did mention my idea of the general relativity, you know slowing down time for us and expanding space, um, in outer space, or expanding distance in outer space. So, but he didn't think that it was a good enough argument, because he said that it hasn't been shown to be relevant to, or significant enough of a difference or a change in the rate of time or the expansion of distance. But I would probably disagree with that, because they don't really know what the rate of time is where there's no matter in outer space, and they don't know, you know, how much expansion there is from the expansion of space where there is no matter. And since he didn't mention that, it seems like he might not really know the significance of the argument that I'm presenting. But anyways, I believe he chose the argument of God did it, basically, which is okay, because you know time and space in the universe can't make itself, can't order itself, it can't put itself together, it can't make its own properties, and the fact that we see distant starlight is part of the creation of God anyway, so it really doesn't matter how that's happening. But there is an expansion of distance because of the fact that Dr. Danny Faulkner did address the problem of dark matter and dark energy. It seems like he probably didn't hasn't really considered or thought about the argument very well or very much, to the point of that there's no need for any dark matter or dark energy, because the dark energies is supposed to be expanding the universe, which is totally nonsensical anyway, but it would make sense in general relativity, expanding the space or distance between the stars. So that would eliminate the need for dark energy, and it also eliminates the need for dark matter, since the rate of time is changing within the galaxy. So when we look at a galaxy, you can see you're looking at different rates of time, different rates of the passing of time. And of course, you can actually see in a galaxy the expansion of distance as well, except for the fact that the galaxy has more matter in or near the galaxy than there is in outer space. But something that people don't consider as well is the distances even within the galaxy. The distances within the galaxy are considerable. They're great distances. How much more or how much greater is the distance in outer space outside of the galaxy where there's no matter to dilate time or distance? So, since nobody has been outside of the galaxy and there's no way to measure the the distance or the compared to our distance inside the galaxy, there's no way to measure the speed of light or the rate of time outside of the galaxy. There's no way to measure the measure of distance outside the galaxy either. But it would probably eliminate the need for dark energy and dark matter, both of which are nonsensical, have not been detected, have not been observed. Well, what has been observed in the galaxy is that the spiral arms are moving faster than what they're expected to move, and that can be explained by the changing measure of time. So that time passes by in the outer spiral arms of the galaxy much faster, so that it appears to be moving much faster than what it's supposed to be moving, but it's because the rate of time is faster in the outer spiral arms than it is in the center, where the gravity is much greater and stronger, and the dilation of time is much more significant. And who knows where the Earth was when it was created to begin with? You know, maybe the rate of time was much slower. Maybe it's just moved out away from where it was, or God put it somewhere in a different place, in one way or another, because we're talking about the creation of God anyway, so it really is not a big deal being able to see distant starlight one way or another. Whether you go with Danny Faulkner's God did it, or the explanation of general relativity, expanding distance, and slowing down the rate of time on Earth as compared to outside of the galaxy. Either way, and but the fact that there is such a thing as general relativity that does expand distance in outer space and does speed up time in outer space is indicative of at least the possibility that there really is billions of years passing by, while mere thousands of years are passing by on Earth. And I believe that's a real possibility because of the fact that, for one thing, they're observing what they think is dark matter, and they're observing what they think is the expansion of the universe or dark energy, and it can be explained by by general relativity itself, by itself alone. So the fact that there is no single measure of time or measure of distance in the universe, should call into question whether or not people are calculating correctly the distant starlight to begin with. And I know they're off because I know we're not seeing exactly what's taking place out there because of the fact that we can see events that happen in outer space, the same event in different places, years apart from each other. So that shows you that the the amount of matter in the vicinity makes a huge difference as to the rate of the passing of time. So, say there's a star, um, from a distant galaxy or something, And once it leaves the galaxy, there's nothing to slow down the rate of time, and the measure of distance increases considerably, which is equal to an expansion of space without actually expanding the space, but it's actually um, stretching out the universe, stretching the universe like tent poles, with tent poles, like as if every black hole in the universe is a tent pole, and it's stretching out the three-dimensional fabric of time and space, with the black holes that make the dilation of time and distance possible, so that makes our existence possible. Because if there was no dilation of time and distance, we wouldn't even be able to exist. No physical thing would be able to function, or because there would not be time taking place or time passing by. So the mere fact of the existence of the black holes around the universe is what makes our existence possible, is as a physical, machinery that we are, where things can take place with measurable things can take place in time, inside of time, or inside of limited measurable time and distance. So the fact that there's no single rate of time or measure of distance in the universe is indicative that there could be billions of years passing by, while only thousands of years are passing by where we are. So that to me makes a lot of sense, and it's easy explanation. And you don't need dark energy to expand space, and you don't need dark matter to hold the or to account for the rate, the speed of the spiral arms in the galaxy. Keeping going much faster than what they were expected to go, because the rate of time is going by faster. So to me, those are viable explanations without even invoking God, even though we can still invoke the creation and the creation of the universe, because it can't make itself. Matter and energy cannot make or direct themselves. So you still need God to make the universe anyway, regardless. And the fact that we see distant starlight is an amazing thing, and we should try to figure out how that is. But it's not going to exclude the creation of the universe by a creator who is not limited by his fabrication of limited time and distance, limited measurable time and distance. So God bless everybody. Take care.